Okay, so I am going to talk about newborn essentials. My baby is 9 weeks right now, so she's not quite 3 months. She's like 2.5 months. So I want to just talk about some of the things that have been essential for us so far, and that I know will be for the next month or so as well. So she's in here with me, but so these are in no particular order, and I'm gonna include pictures. I didn't want to bring all the things in here for the video, but I'll include pictures of all the things that we have been loving. I will first say there are not many things that we got that we don't love, and if we did, we already returned them probably even before she was born. But mostly everything we have, we use and we like. So there's not really many things that I would say absolutely don't get, but before I bought things and registered for things, I did a lot of research on everything, and I looked at a lot of these videos to get ideas from other moms on what they really loved and thought was really helpful. So I think that was really helpful to me in finding things that we would use for our baby, because there are so many different things out there, and a lot of people have different opinions and different purposes and different places they live. So things that are gonna work for some people aren't gonna necessarily work for other people. So these are just things that we like and that have worked for us so far for these past 9.5 weeks. Again, in no particular order. So one of the things that really, really worked for us in the really beginning, probably I would say from newborn, like the day that we brought the baby home until the last couple of weeks. I mean, we still use it maybe once or twice a week, but not as much as we used to, is the Fisher-Price Rock and Play. So when we first brought Nix home from the hospital, the Rock and Play, we used that like all the time. Like almost every nap time we put her in the Rock and Play, and she slept in that, and it was amazing. It's still a good thing. It's just now she's a lot more alert, so she doesn't love it as much unless we put the toy bar on top of it. But just sitting in it, she does not nap in it. Especially if we turn the rocker on, she doesn't nap in it. So I know a lot of moms use the Rock and Play for overnight sleep, especially if you have a reflux baby, but Nix doesn't have reflux, so we didn't need it for that purpose. But in the daytime, we have it in our living room. When I would shower and be home alone, it's great because you can move it, and we would put it upstairs. But now she doesn't really nap in it. She likes to nap like laying flat, so we don't get as much use out of it, but we definitely got our money's worth out of that thing in the very beginning. So we loved the Rock and Play. We have one that has the rocker, the vibrating, and the music on it. So all of that stuff is really great for a newborn. So another one for us that I love, especially now, is, I believe it's also Fisher-Price, but it's the Kick and Play Piano Gym. We love that. Now that Nix is more alert and she's not in the Rock and Play all the time, she loves her activity gym. So she kicks the piano, she hits the toys, she loves it so much. She is in that thing almost every time, like between after she eats and before she takes a nap, to play on that, and she loves it. She could like play on that thing all day between naps. We try to change it up and do different things, but like she loves that thing. It's amazing. Another one that we're really loving now that she can sit up a little bit more, also Fisher-Price, is the floor seat. So we have a frog floor seat, and we put the toy bar in front of it because the floor seat has some toys that she can grab, but she's not big enough to start doing that yet. So for us, we got a toy bar, which is also another thing that I think is a must-have item, and I'll show a picture of it. I'm not sure who makes it or the exact brand, but it can clip onto all these different things, this toy bar, and she loves to stare at that thing. So she right now is really into sitting in the floor seat because she's sitting upright. She can look at us. She's like looking around more, and then we put the toy bar on so she can see the toys with that. So that's another thing that we do between nap time. Another must-have for me is some type of wrap. So we do have a structured carrier, we have a Lily baby carrier, but the wraps are amazing. So we have been using the wraps since day one, since of being home, and I love it so much. They're so easy to do. Watch a YouTube video on how to wrap. I first had the Solly baby wrap, and I watched their video on YouTube, and my friend actually gave me another stretchy wrap, and I wrap it the exact same way. And I've also watched videos on how to wrap the boba wrap, and it's the exact same. So they're all the same, and it is so easy. So if you watch the video once or twice, you'll know how to do it. It seems a lot more intimidating because it's just one long piece of fabric, but it is so worth it. I love the wrap so much. So I actually just got a baby Katan as well, because with that one you can have them facing forward, and now that Nyx is more alert, I think she's going to want to be facing forward more, and we go on walks and I will wear her sometimes, and I think it'll be really nice once the weather's nicer to put her in the wrap and face her forward once she has a little bit more neck control. So I'm looking forward to trying that. And I know the Katan is already kind of like pre-wrapped a little bit more, so we'll see. But right now I think I will still use the wraps that I have for quite a while, even as she gets bigger, because now that she doesn't nap in the rock and play, especially at nighttime, getting her to nap is a little bit more difficult. So her napping in a carrier is so easy. It's like the easiest way because I'm moving and doing things. It kind of rocks her to sleep. And it also keeps us close and kind of does that like skin to skin type thing. So we love the wrap, and I would say that is a must have. Other things that I think are must haves in terms of kind of just like hygiene and things. So for bath time, we had got quite a few different baby bathtubs, and when they are very little and newborns, our hospital told us it's important not to get water in their ears when they're really little, and that is really hard. If you've ever bathed a newborn, it is really difficult to not get water in their ears. So first, I mean, we would bathe her in the sink, down in our kitchen sink, and now we bathe her in the bathroom sink, but we have a small tub that can fit in the sink. But one of the things that I think, regardless of what type of bathtub you have for your baby, is to get one of those sponges that go on top of the bath until they're a little bit bigger. So the sponge makes it so they won't keep sliding down, because if they keep sliding down, their head goes in the water. The sponge is amazing, and it's like $5 on Amazon. I think Summer Infant makes it. I'll double check that, but they're great. You can put them in any type of bath, anything you use, until they have a little bit more control. So I think those are really helpful for bath time. Ever since we started using the sponge, it has made bath time so much easier. And Nyx loves the bath, but it was more like me having anxiety about like her slipping and sliding everywhere. Another thing for hygiene is the nose Frida. So I personally think the nose Frida is so gross. I mean, I know there are filters on there so it doesn't go into your mouth, but just the thought of like sucking snot is like disturbing to me. So I use it, but I am so grossed out by it. So I also got these sticks, and I'll find the picture because again, I can't remember the name of them, but they're used, you just kind of stick them in their nose and you pull out the boogers. But I use that and the Frida, so I like will use that to get it, and then like use the Frida to get whatever's left, and it works really well for us. So we use that because she does get congested. It is the winter time. So there's that. Another thing, I have mentioned this in quite a few videos, and I have some right in front of me, but water wipes. So I think these are a must if your baby has sensitive skin, which Nyx does. So we have used water wipes since birth, and they have been amazing. So we went back to New York, and I brought a package of Pampers, and they were sensitive skin Pampers, and she got diaper rash right away. As soon as we switched back to water wipes, we put a little Aquaphor on her rash, went back to water wipes like 2 days later, and she was fine. So, I mean, I think the water wipes are phenomenal, but that's just my opinion if your baby has sensitive skin. Another thing along with diapering that is really great are disposable changing liner things. So if you are changing your diaper out in public, or if you're going to a friend's house and you don't have a changing pad or something like that, I keep those disposables in my car and in my diaper bag. So that way if we're out, I don't have to put her on those disgusting changing tables that are inside of restaurants and things like that. So I line those up and then I put my changing pad on top of that, because I don't want to put my changing pad on top of one of those things and then put it back in my bag and get all the germs from that. You know, the changing tables that are inside restaurants, there's so many germs on them. What else? I don't have a list in front of me. The Halo swivel bassinet is a must. I mean, I would say if you're somebody who wants your baby in your room, or if you're breastfeeding and your baby's not sleeping through the night and you need to feed them, having a bassinet that is close to you is essential. Because this way you don't have to get up and out of your bed to get your baby. I do have friends who put their baby in their crib in their own room from day one, and that's fine, that's their choice. But for me, having my baby right next to me makes it so much easier. So we're gonna keep her in our room for the first 6 months at least. And once she outgrows her bassinet, we're gonna have a pack and play in there. And then after 6 months, we'll transition her into her crib. But she sleeps in her bassinet by herself, no swaddling or anything, and she's fine. But I like to have her right next to me, especially I'm a first-time mom, so it just gives me a little bit of peace of mind that she is right next to me. What else? Those are the things that right now we use all the time, daily. I guess the other thing, and I wouldn't say this is an essential, it is something that we use daily, but I definitely wouldn't say this is an essential, something that you need. But the DockATot. We love our DockATot. We didn't have it at first. We had a different brand of one, and Nyx never slept in it. She didn't like it. We got the DockATot, and she naps in it all the time. She's in it right now. We also got the toy bar. Since it's sitting in front of me, I'll just show you so I don't have to insert a picture. So this is the toy bar. My mom got us these little Lynx, and my friend got us the sports, and this mirror is from the Fisher-Price, what is it, piano, and I just put it on here so there was more things, but she loves to hit these, the toys on here, and this clips right into the DockATot. So it is very portable, the DockATot. That's one thing I love about it. So we usually keep it downstairs. I can bring it upstairs. We put it on our bed. We put it wherever. We had her, like earlier, we had the DockATot in her crib and she napped in there, but she naps in the DockATot, no issue. So we love it. I wouldn't say it's an essential because they can nap wherever, but it's just nice to be able to lay her down wherever and not have to worry about her like rolling off or something. She doesn't roll yet, but it's definitely in the near future. So I think if you get a DockATot when they're an infant, because they aren't going to fit in it for so long, they say to 8 months, then I would say it's worth it. We really like it, and next time we go to New York, we're going to bring it with us, but I would say that's something that's great. One other thing I would say is a must-have is a stroller that you can connect your infant car seat right into. So some type of travel system, because when we grocery shop, when I am alone with a baby and we go to the store, I don't like to put her car seat right into the stroller. And I know there's things like the Binksy Baby where you put that hammock thing into the cart, but I don't want to have to like take her out of the car seat. No, I would just rather put her car seat right into my stroller, and then if it's just me and I'm not like buying a lot of stuff, I'll just put the stuff right into the bottom of my stroller and then ring it out from there. I don't get a cart, I don't get a basket, anything like that, but it just makes life so much easier to be able to clip it right in. I'm not looking forward to the day where I have to have a car seat that I can't just like take her out of, that I actually have to take her, unbuckle her, and get her out. because she doesn't mind the car seat, but like buckling her in, she always cries. So for me, I like to be able to just click her in, click her out. So those are the things that I would say are, you know, essential besides like diapers and things like that, and clothes, all those things. But things that like we have used daily, or we're using daily and maybe aren't anymore just because she's getting bigger, or we weren't using in the beginning but are using now. So all of those things I would say are things that we used between the time she was first born and the time that she's 3 months. She's not 3 months yet, but I know there are things that we'll still be using. So hopefully this is helpful to someone. If not, I don't know. There are things that we love, and you know, we'll use for the next couple of weeks. So that is really it.